Today we're going to talk about vertical angles. And so I've written my index card or my notes. So a vertical angle is an angle that is opposite and equal. So when two lines intersect, you can see that I have highlighted A and C. Those are opposite and equal. And the same thing happens with B and D. They're opposite and equal. And that really helps us when we're trying to figure out what the measure is of a particular angle in a complex figure. We can be like, oh, they're across from each other. That means they're the same, which means they're opposite and equal. And we'll use that vocabulary word, vertical angles. This is the one time when vertical does not mean like I'm jumping straight up in the air. It's not a straight up and down. It's opposite. Opposite and equal. Okay, so we're going to use this note card as we apply it to a couple of situations here. So let me go ahead and give you an example. So if I have a nice easy graph like this one, and I want to talk about opposite and equal, the highlighters work the best for me. I like to highlight when we're doing angles so I can get a visual. So I would go here and I would go, okay, this one and this one are clearly opposites and equals. And so you can see that that's angle 3 and angle 1. And the same thing then happens to angle 2 and angle 4. And so just highlight enough that I can get all the way out there to the problem. And so you can see that this one's going to be exactly the same highlighted pictures. But what I like about it is on this particular one, I don't even have to do any math. Because if I tell you that angle 1 is 56 degrees, then I know the other green one is also 56 degrees. So I can come down here and I can go ahead and just write the answer down. And then that means if this one is 56 and that one is 56, then the other two pairs have to be 124. And if you think about this, remember we have a complete circle going all the way around the outside. And we know that circles add up to 360. And if I go ahead and I add all of these up, what you will notice is these add up to 180 and these add up to 180 because remember they make a straight line. See the straight line right there? So one yellow and one green make this straight line here. Or if we want to go on this angle, this green and this yellow make up this straight line. Either way, it's 180 degrees and 180 degrees twice is my 360. So that's kind of how it all ties together. And that will be helpful as we're starting to work a few more of these. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ask for us to go ahead and look at number 2. And so let me make sure you can still see question number 1 there. So again, I'm going to get my highlighters out. It's a little harder because they're straight up and down, but you still want to think about going across. So if you were to draw a straight line going across, this would be the other one that would be green. And so those would be my 2 that would be green, and then clearly the ones that I haven't colored in yet are. Now, if you don't happen to have highlighters or crowns at your house, you're welcome to use a pencil. You can shade it in. You can color one or stripe one. That works too. Let me show you what that looks like over here. I would do something like this. I would go, these match. And then obviously these match. So I would be able to do that with a pencil the same way I did them with color. I just think the color pops out a lot better. So again, if angle 2 is 95 degrees, then I know that this one is 95 degrees. And then I just go ahead and record it over here in the answer. So that would be 95 and that would make the other one 85. So if I were to randomly draw you a problem, say for instance, I drew one that is slanted the other direction, the first thing I would suggest you do if I say, oh, I think this is 50 degrees. And how are you going to tell me what angle A equals, what angle B equals, and what angle C equals? And so you should be able to use what you have already learned about complementary or supplementary and vertical angles today. So we're going to go ahead and mark those. So this one and this one are the same, which then make the ones on the opposite side the same. So those are going to be equal. So I'm going to take 180 minus 50, and I know that that works out to 130. So angle A equals 130, angle C equals 130, and angle B equals 50. And so all of these together have to add up to 180 degrees, right? The two together have to add up to 180. These two together have to add up to 180. And so that's going to help me when I start putting all the lines together and ask you to find the missing parts. So again, please make sure you pay attention to your notes. We are working on vertical angles today. And so that's our new vocabulary word. So great job today.